my friends. Welcome back. How are you? I hope doing okay. Come on, let's go read the inspiration for the day. Some people could be given an entire field of roses and only see the thorns in it. Others could be given a single weed and only see the wildflower in it. Perception is a key component to gratitude, and gratitude a key component to joy. That's Amy Weatherby. Okay, let's go see what I'm up to today. So here's one of the night lights that I got in from Amazon. Remember, I showed them to you before? And here's one of the plugs that I made, and we're going to use this mold that I just put the plug in. I'm trying to see if I want to get a different size out of here. We might try, let's try to switch the plugs out. I think that size might work better because we're trying to have enough space for the light on top of that, the little light bulb that screws into the nightlight. I'm trying to make sure that it will make it through the hole there. If we put the plug there and pop the plug out, then the nightlight slide through the hole that we made. So I'm trying to see which plug will work best. So I'm just going to hold the light up to it and see if it will cover it on all sides. Make sure it'll get through there. I think that one's going to work the best right here. Okay, now we need to measure our plug in there and make sure that it is right in the center of our mold. So I'm going to get my ruler here and just make sure that we have it in there just right. Okay, now I'm going to turn the mold around. I need to double check that. Okay, now I'm going to turn the mold around and we're going to see if it matches on this end or pretty close to it. All right, that looks good. I think we're right in the center where we need to be. Now I mixed up 40 mils of Let's Resin Epoxy and I divided it into these three cups here. And I'm mixing up a holographic green glitter, holographic silver glitter, and a holographic red glitter. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop these down into our mold down there. And I just kind of want to put a little bit of each color in the mold. And these are the glitters that I used. This is the Red Hot Fiesta. And then this is just one of my mixes right here. I mixed this one up myself. It's just a fine glitter and a holographic octagon glitter. And then I got this one from craftparty.com and it's apple green. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and just drop some of these glitters down into our mold. And I don't want to put a lot in here. I'm not filling this mold completely up. All we want to make here is a small slab to fit over our nightlight so we can create a Christmas decoration on top of it. So we need to make sure that it's thick enough to where it won't bend, but not too thick because we don't want it, you know, really chunky and real heavy, which resin really isn't heavy, but you know, we just want it to be nice and neat sitting on top of the nightlight. Nothing real chunky and big. Okay, I think I got the colors in there pretty good. I'm just going to add a little bit more of this green. I don't know if we'll put all of this in there. It looks like we have plenty of resin in there. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the silver. Might as well finish that one off. There I go looking for my stuff again because I cleaned my craft area and I moved everything in a different spot. So I'm not used to where everything's at right now. I don't even think I have the right silicone brush I was looking for. I just snagged this one because it was closest to me. But I was just cleaning off the edge of the mold there. And now I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to pop any of those surface bubbles. Okay. And I'm just going to take my silicone brush and go across right along the edges there. And if there's any bubbles there, I'm just going to nudge them and they'll float to the top. And then we can spray a little bit of alcohol and pop them. Okay, we're back and this is cured. So let's go ahead and demold it and get it out and take a look at it. I hope our nightlight's going to fit through there and work perfectly for us. Okay, I'm just going to put my plug back in here and close it up. Now let's get our nightlight and let's slide it through here. You see, see how one end's fatter than the other and one end's slimmer? We want that slim end right there. And the reason why is because that's going to be the end closest to the wall that we're going to be plugging the nightlight in. That's why I made the plug a little bit closer to that side of the mold. See? That side's thinner than the side in the front, what's in the front. And it fits on there perfect. Look at that, you guys. I'm so excited that that fit right on there. I thought I was going to have to make another one with a different size plug, but that's perfect. Okay, now I have a mold right here, and it's a Christmas mold. And then up there where I was just pointing at, I couldn't find my mold for my little gingerbread men. So I had to go and dig in my my casting box that I put a lot of my pieces in that I haven't used. And I found two of the gingerbread men in there. It's a girl and a boy. One has a bow in her hair, and then the other one has a bow tie on his neck. So that separates the girl from the boy. So I just went ahead and threw those two castings in that container there and threw my silicone in to just make us another mold. And then that we're going to use those two gingerbread people to put on our nightlight. And then I thought we would make this Christmas tree right here to put on our nightlight too. So I just dropped in a little bit of clear resin inside the mold. And then we're going to take these little beads right here and we're going to drop in the little holes that's inside of there for the Christmas ornaments on the tree. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the little balls up and drop them in the little holes that are inside of the mold for the Christmas tree ornaments. And I sped this up just a little bit. My video is already 46 minutes long, you guys, and I cut out everything that I could cut out. So I know this is a little bit longer than usual for me, but hopefully I can keep y'all's attention the whole time. Okay, there's our ornaments in our tree. It looks pretty good. And we might, for the star up there on the tree, we may put some little gold pieces of holographic glitter up there. See here? Let's get that gold glitter and drop a few pieces of it in up there for our star on our Christmas tree. That looks cute. I think that's going to be cute. Okay, I'm going to use my heat gun and pop any surface bubbles. And then we'll let this cure, and then we'll come back and do the rest of it. Okay, now we're back, and we're going to go ahead and finish our Christmas tree up. I went ahead and made 3 of them. I know we're only going to be using 1. And then I got some other inclusions out here to put in our gingerbread men. So I'll probably end up, Christmas coming up, so I'll probably end up using those other 2 trees and something else. And I'm going to get this, I chose this alcohol ink right here by Ranger, and the color is Mojito. And we're going to put a little bit inside of this measuring cup because we're not going to need a lot for our Christmas tree. I'm going to spray a little bit of alcohol in the mold, and then we're going to drop in some of this resin, which is Let's Resin Epoxy. And we don't want our Christmas tree to be real thick. So I'm not filling the mold completely up. So I'm just going to take like my little tool here and dip it in the alcohol ink and then swirl it through the clear resin until I'm satisfied with the color, because we don't want our tree to be really dark. When you turn the nightlight on, we want to be able to see through the Christmas tree, but know that it's a Christmas tree, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that color, but I'm going to go ahead and drop in some of this Sinker White into the measuring cup and then dip my stick in there and then make a few swirls around with that to give it just a little bit more definition. I'm going to add a little bit more of that Sinker White in there on my stick and then just swirl it around in there. I wasn't getting enough of what I wanted mixing it with the alcohol ink, so I just put a little drop of it on the end of my tool there and then twirled it around in the resin. And I think I'm satisfied with the color of that Christmas tree. And I'm going to reach over there and grab some glitter, and we're going to make our Christmas tree sparkle just a little bit. And hopefully when the nightlight comes on, you can see the glitter dancing around in the Christmas tree. That's what we're going to hope for anyway. And I love that I chose the night lights that are motion censored, because when you walk by the nightlight, it'll come on by itself. Okay, now I made this mold right here of a Christmas tree. It's a real small Christmas tree because I couldn't find one that I wanted. So I made this one myself. And then we're going to go ahead and demold our gingerbread guys out of the silicone, or gingerbread guy and gal. I'm going to take my little Cricut tool here and run it along the edge there just to break that seal so I can get in there and get it out. There we go. Okay, I sped the video up a little bit here just to save on time. I'm just going to grab my Cricut blade, ticket braid. Oh, my Cricut blade, and I'm going to run it around the edge there because I'm a whole lot better with this Cricut blade than I am with the tool that you really use for molds, to trim the edges of the mold and stuff. I'm better with this tool than the other one. Okay, now I got a little bit more to cut out right there. There we go. There it is. And there's our mold. And here's the little casting that was in there. And that casting's from 3 years ago. I'm telling you, I had a time finding those gingerbread people. I was digging and digging and digging through all kinds of my boxes and totes that I have castings in. And I Oh, I was so excited when I seen them. I don't know where in the world my mold went for these gingerbread peeps right here. I tore my craft room up looking for them. I've still got molds laying everywhere that I haven't put up yet. Okay, I did let that mold sit for 24 hours, so it's ready to be used now. So we're going to drop a little bit of resin down in there, and then a little bit of resin down in the other one. And I'm not going to fill them up right now because I'm going to run this tool through there and nudge those bubbles that I can see in there and rock them, and they'll come onto the top and we can pop them and get rid of them. Because inside of our mold, there is 2 eyes and a mouth, and then there's 2 little round places for like 2 buttons. And inside those areas were some tiny bubbles. Now I'm going to take these little balls here that are Christmas colors, and I'm going to put some eyeballs in our gingerbread people, which I didn't end up liking those after the fact. So I ended up putting some Swarovski crystals on their eyes on the outside after I demolded them. Now I'm going to take these pretty little candy pieces of candy, and I'm going to put them in those little button places on the gingerbread people. And my girl is on the right because I see the pink I put for her button, and then my boy is on the left right there. Okay, now I'm going to get some of these candy canes out. They're really tiny candy canes, and we're going to put the candy canes in their hands. Okay, now we're back, and these are ready to demold. So let's go ahead and pop them out. This is our Christmas tree. Isn't that cute? I love it. I'm so happy we decided to do the alcohol ink because when you cut the nightlight on, hopefully you'll be able to see, kind of through the Christmas tree and be able to see all the ornaments on it. It turned out so cute. And do you see our little star up there sparkling from the gold glitter we put in there? And then the bottom, I put a few of the glitter, a few pieces of glitter. Now this Christmas tree right here, I'm not going to use this one right now, but I will probably end up using it in something. I dropped in some of that holographic green glitter that I got from craftparty.com. And I'm just going to leave that other Christmas tree in there because I'm not sure what I'll be decorating it with, so I'm going to leave it there. Let's go ahead and pop our gingerbread people out. This is our girl right here. And I didn't completely fill the mold up because I didn't want her to be too chunky. And then here's our little boy. And we're going to paint his bow tie and her hair bow on so it'll bring them out more. And then this little Christmas tree right here, I wasn't sure if we would use this Christmas tree or the other Christmas tree. So I'm going to demold it and we'll put them on our nightlight and see which one we want to use. I think this one's probably going to be a little bit bigger than we want, but I wanted to go ahead and make it anyway, just in case we might use it. It turned out so stinking cute. Look at that. I love it. But I'm almost positive it's going to be too big for our nightlight. Not really, but it's going to be too big for the scene that I'm making. Okay, I'm getting out these little markers here. They're by Ink Lab. They're metallic markers. And I'm just going to get the pink and the blue out. I'm trying to find one that's close to red. I don't know. I guess I may have to get another one. We're going to use the pink here for our girl, and we'll do her bow and her the bottom of her dress or her skirt with the pink. And then she has like a collar for her dress. We're going to do that in pink. And then I'm doing her skirt or the bottom of her dress right now. And there she is. Now let's get the little boy. Oh, I forgot to do her hands. She's got some little areas there for her hands. And there she is. I sped the video up a little bit right here. We're going to go ahead and draw his bow tie on, color it in so it'll bring it out more and you can see it. And then his hands. And then his feet, like where his shoes would be. And there he is. Okay, now we need to bring our gingerbread people out a little bit more. So I'm going to take this UV resin here by J. Diction, and I'm going to pour a hefty amount into each of these measuring cups right here. One for the boy and one for the girl. And then we're going to get our holographic glitter over there to the right, the blue and the pink, right here. And we're going to drop some of that into the UV resin. And what we're going to basically do is kind of turn them over and dome the back of them. And maybe that glitter will bring them out a little bit more. Now, when I stir that glitter up in the UV resin, I'm stirring it really slow because this is UV resin and I don't want to incorporate any bubbles in it. Okay, now I'm going to get the other cup and we're going to go ahead and put some of the blue holographic glitter into it, and that's going to be for the boy. And I'm not sure if this is going to make them stand out a little bit more. I'm hoping it will. We'll just have to see. And if it doesn't look good, then I'll just wipe it off, and we won't cure it. But if it ends up looking okay, then we'll go ahead and cure it on them. And I'm just going to get a silicone mat out right here, turn them over, and let's go ahead and drop that glitter on them. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing okay. I had to work the church booth last night at the fair. It's time for our fair here where I live at. And the lady that worked the booth with me, she wanted to go over and take a picture with J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. You know the poster, the big posters they put up that actually look like them, but they're not. They're just posters. She wanted to go take pictures with them. And that's really the first time I've taken a picture since my dog passed away back in February. And my friends, I was so sick behind the weight I have gained since my Chihuahua passed away. I couldn't believe it. I have just been eating all of the sweets and packing them away, just eating and eating and eating them because it makes me feel better because I'm so hurt behind losing him. And I just could not believe the weight I've gained. And it's not because I care about what people think. It's about being healthy, And I was so sick behind what I saw. Okay, y'all. I think this is cured up on the back of our little gingerbread people. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that was the right move to make? Putting the glitter behind them? I think she looks precious. Let's check out the boy. I'm going to tap, tap, tap. Yeah, he feels cured too. Maybe I should have done green on him because the blue on blue just don't look good. I may end up putting green bow tie on him. What do y'all think? Let's stand them up here and see if they will stand up because we're going to need them to stand up a little bit because I only have two hands. And I'm going to need to hold them with one hand if they don't stand up and glue them with the other, which we're not going to really be gluing them. We're going to be tacking them, you know, just get them to stay on the little slit that we made, you know, until I can get the epoxy resin on there to really lock them in on it. And look at these hats right here that I got for them. They're a little bit too big, so I may have to tack them in the back with some thread. Yeah, I'm going to have to tack them in the back with a little bit of thread. They're a little bit too big for their little heads. So yeah, I'll just pinch it right there and then tack it in the back and fold it over and tack it again. I'm just trying to see about how much I need to do. Yeah, about that much right there. So I'll just put these to the side and then I'll go tack them in a little bit and then we'll put them on their heads and glue them on there. Okay, let's get our nightlight out right here. And what I did was I put a little bit of cellophane in the center there and put a rubber band over it so we don't get any epoxy in the center of our nightlight. See? And I just put a little rubber band right there over it. So now we're going to go ahead and slide our nightlight in there. Make sure I get it in there right. Well, that don't look right. No, the skinny end's on the outside. Okay, I'm going to take that. I'll fix that in a minute. I'm going to take my little stick here and I'm pulling the cellophane out so we don't trap it inside of there when we start to glue it. And I'm going to take my scissors and just trim some of it off. I need some better scissors. I think I'm going to throw that orange pair away because they're hardly cutting anymore. Okay, I'm looking around for something again. Okay, I'm going to grab my Let's Resin UV bonder and then the little light that it came with. And I thought that's what we will tack our light with. We don't want to, you know, go ahead and get it strong bonded or anything on here. I'm not looking to do that because when we put the epoxy resin over the top, that's going to go ahead and make sure everything stays in place. So all we're doing right now is tacking everything. Okay, so I'm just going to take the UV light and cure it up a little bit. And does anybody see what I did wrong here? And now I switched it. I did actually put some of that UV bonder on there and I did cure it up, but I caught what I did. I needed to flip our glitter piece around because that thin piece was in the front that needed to be in the back. So I went ahead and fixed it. Luckily, I hadn't went too far with that UV bonder and I was able to pop it out and turn it around. So now I put a little bit of that UV resin into my measuring cup there, and then I got some of that mother of pearl mica powder and put down in it, and I'm going to stir it up. And this is what we're going to use to make the snow on the edges of our piece up there. Our glitter piece, we're going to put snow all around the edges. And what I'll do is I'll take a little drop of it and drop it down the edge and then take my light and cure it before it drops all the way off the side. So it looks like a natural drip of snow. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of my disco glitter in here and give our snow a little bit you know, of a sparkly look. Okay, that's looking pretty. I think I like that. Now let's go ahead and start making our snow. I'm just going to take my little popsicle stick and make a little drop over the edge there. Then take my light and I'm going to turn it on right before it makes it to right before it drops off of the piece. And I'm not going to be fully curing this on the side. I'm just getting it to where it won't move anymore and it won't smudge or anything when I touch it. Because after I get done, I'm going to go ahead and throw it under my big UV light and fully cure it. And every time I drop a piece of the white resin off the side, I don't cure the top of the piece there. I take a Q-tip and wipe it off. And see, there it is. Because we don't want that snow to be on top of our piece because we're doing something completely different there. But it's not going to matter if a little bit of it does end up being there, if that makes sense. That's not going to matter at all. We'll be able to hide that. Okay, now I'm going to take the top and I'm going to wipe it. And it's okay if a little bit stayed there. That's no big deal. We just don't want a big chunk of it there. And I'm just holding that light on there just long enough to stop it from dripping and not being able to be smudged when it's touched. And there's that one. And we'll come back through and make another little line of the snow. Okay, I'm almost done with this edge here. I may make a few more pieces of snow. Now we're going to work on the front here. And if I need to go back to the side, I will and add some more. But first, we need to put the ho-ho-ho on the front before we add the snow. And I want to put some silver glitter on that. So I thought the best way to do that would be to grab my glitter UV resin from Temu and just paint it on there. Go ahead and trace the ho-ho-ho with it and then cure it up and then would glue it on the front of our nightlight. I think that's going to be cute. But we need to add that before we do the snow. And then we'll just put the snow on the left and the right side of the ho-ho-ho. Okay, I think that looks good. And I'm just going to halfway cure it. I'm not looking to fully cure it. And there it is. And I sped the video up a little bit here. I'm going to put a little bit of that UV bonder on the back. And then we're going to stick it on the front. Make sure we get it lined up straight. And in the center. Okay, that looks good. We're going to go ahead and cure it up. I'm not looking to fully cure it, just enough to hold it there. There it is. I think that turned out cute. Now let's go ahead and do our snow on each side of the ho-ho-ho. I'll do a few with you and then I'll finish it up so we're not here all day watching this. I just wanted y'all to see how I done it in case you want to make a nightlight yourself. These are super cute and so much fun to make. You can design them however you want and put whatever you want to put on the top of them. Isn't that cute? Okay, now I'm going to finish this side over here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and tack our gingerbread people on there. I put a little bit of that UV bonder on her feet. No, let's put her hat on first. I'm sorry. I thought I was doing her feet. I went ahead and tacked their hats. And I made them small enough to where they could just go on the side of their head. And I'm going to tack it on there with the UV bonder, and then we'll go back and I'll use my hot glue gun and drop in some in the back to make sure they don't come off. I'm just getting them tacked on right now. And they look a little funny sticking up like that. So I'm going to go ahead and tack the hat down too a little bit. And I'll probably get my hot glue gun to do that too. Drop a little bead right there in the middle and then push it down. And it'll bring that hat down a little bit. Now I'm putting that UV bonder on her feet. And let's go ahead and place her onto our nightlight. And then I'm just going to use that UV light a little bit on her. Just enough to hold her there. I don't need her to be fully cured. And now we got our little boy. I put his hat on already. And I took their hats and I put a little bit of hot glue in the center and squeezed them down a little bit so they weren't standing straight up. And now we're going to go ahead and tack him on there. I'm going to make sure he's sitting right. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the UV light on him. And there it is. Isn't that cute? Okay, I sped the video up again. Let's go ahead and get our Christmas tree tacked on there. And I'm going to put the Christmas tree right here in the center on the front. Get it tacked there. Okay, now we're going to add some Christmas presents. And we're going to put them on the left and the right of the Christmas tree. Okay, now let's add the other Christmas present on the left-hand side of the Christmas tree. Use the UV light and get it tacked good. And there it is. It's coming along nicely. Oh, his hat came up. I got to retack it. There we go. I fixed it. They won't be moving now. Okay, now let's take some of these cute little lollipops and tack them on there. It's not easy getting in here with that because I cut some of the stick off. Okay, now I'm going to add all of these on there. Okay, here's how it looks so far. I got some candy canes and lollipops on there. I added 2 in the back. Okay, now we're going to put some stockings up here hanging off of the side. And then we'll put this little bitty teeny tiny Christmas present in front of the big Christmas presents to make it look like there's more presents under the tree. Because these are super tiny right here. And I think they'll look really cute under the Christmas tree. Okay, there it is. Now let's add the other one, and there it is. Okay, now I'm going to add the stockings to the front, right like that. Let's go ahead and cure it up. Oh, it fell. See if I can get it to stay up there while I get it tacked. There we go. And now we need to add another stocking to the other side. Let's put it right here, like it on. Make sure it's the same length as the other one is. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull off the cellophane that's over our nightlight, because now we're ready to go ahead and finish this up. We're ready to put that epoxy on the top, make sure everything stays in place, and we're going to throw some snow on the top and some glitter. And then we'll be done. I can't wait to see our nightlight lit up. Oh no, y'all. I knocked 2 of our things off that we tacked, trying to get the cellophane off of the middle. I'll have to retack them, y'all. No big deal. Okay, I fixed it. There it is. Now we're ready to put the epoxy on there. Let's go ahead and put the nightlight in. And do y'all think we should add some lights around the front? String up some little Christmas lights? Okay, I got my little strand of Christmas lights out here. Let's tack a few of these going around the front of our nightlight. And I'm just tacking these once again, because once we put that UV resin over there, it's going to cure up and none of this is going to move on our nightlight. Okay, I think I might cut it right there and tack it there, and then we'll run a few on the sides. I think that might work. I don't know, maybe we'll just do on the front. What do y'all think? I'm going to go ahead and cure that up, and then I'm going to see how it looks. Okay, I went ahead and added some on the front and on the sides. Isn't that so cute? Okay, now I got my Let's Resin epoxy out. I only made 20 mils, and we won't need all of that. But I have 2 Hello Kitty pieces up there at the top that they're badge reels that I'm making for my daughter for work. So I'm just going to dome those with the rest of the epoxy. I'm going to put her some little beads dangling from it and snap her one of the badge reels on there. And then she can use those for work. And I'm just really drizzling the epoxy, you know, over here off of the popsicle stick, because I don't want to pour it. I really don't want it to start flowing off the sides. So I'm just drizzling it on there so that I can have better control of how much I'm putting on here. Okay, now I'm going to switch that out and get my silicone tipped brush here. And I'm going to make sure that I'm scooting that epoxy all the way out to the edge and make sure everything is covered with the epoxy. And I have to be extra careful because I don't want to break the surface tension and it start rolling off of the sides. How would y'all like to do this piece as a giveaway? Let me know. If I have more people that want to do it as a giveaway than not, then we'll throw this in as a giveaway so that we can hurry up and get it to the winner so they can put it out and enjoy it the whole month of Christmas. Okay, now I'm just dropping some of these little styrofoam beads for the snow. I got a mess to clean up. Those went everywhere. Okay, now I'm finished. It's cured up, and here's our nightlight, you guys. I just left the snow where it fell. If it fell on the hats, then I glued it there and made sure it stayed. Wherever the styrofoam balls fell is where I left them. There's some on the Christmas tree, some on the ho-ho-ho, some on our gingerbread people's hats. The only ones that I placed myself was in the gingerbread people's hands, like they're throwing snow at each other. But all the other ones are right where they landed. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's beautiful? Y'all ready to see it lit up? It's so stinking cute. And you guys, you can make these. They're so easy to make. I need to get some of these plugs up in my shop so the people can purchase them that's not wanting to make them. Well, it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.